Hey bro, before this video starts, if you like what you see, please subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it. If you want to see me live, I'll link my Twitch in the description. Come check me out. I don't really have a specific time of when I go live. I'm really just live whenever, so follow me if you want to get notifications to join the stream, and that's it. Enjoy the video. What's good, YouTube? Hold on. What's good, YouTube? I'm reacting to this ultimate theory because this is something I talked about earlier on stream. Why can Foxy see through our mask in FNAF 2? Before this guy talks, I'm gonna explain what I think the reason for this is. Hold on, let me cook. What I think the reason for this is because of something called God Victim. Basically what God Victim is the theory that the crying child manipulates everything in the franchise. He manipulates all the deaths, all the fucking everything, bro. Like, and there's so many connections in the first 4 games and so on that prove this. It's honestly my favorite FNAF theory of all time because it's peak. So basically, I think the reason that Foxy can see through your mask in FNAF 2 is because in FNAF 4, when you're in Crying Child's room, hold on, I'll show you. If you look right here, Foxy is the only one that does not have a head. It doesn't have a mask. You could say it doesn't have a mask. All the other ones, all the other 3, they have a mask, which is why, what I think in FNAF 2, these guys are the ones that fall for the mask, but Foxy doesn't, because he doesn't have his head, because Michael took it, and in the game you play as Michael. I mean, there could be a connection between Michael and it could be a connection, but there could be a connection because of the fact that we play as Michael and Foxy kills you.
Sorry, but I need to clarify this. What I mean by when you play as Michael Afton in FNAF 2, in the first 6 nights, you play as a guy named Jeremy Fitzgerald, which is also allegedly the Body of 87 victim. And on night 7, you play as a guy named Fritz Smith. And the evidence for this being Michael Afton is that in the first game, when you play as Mike Smith, aka it's confirmed to be Michael Afton, you're fired for tampering with the animatronics and bad odor, which is the same exact reason that you were fired on night 7 of FNAF 2, which is the leading connection between the two night guards. Sorry. Another piece of evidence for this is in FNAF 6 on the gravestones. The Foxy victim from the MCI is named Fritz, which Foxy is also connected to Michael Afton, obviously.
Basically, what I think is the reason that he doesn't have a mask right here. I mean, the reason that he doesn't fall for the mask is because he doesn't have a mask in this cutscene right here. He doesn't have a mask in fucking Crying Child's room, which is God victim evidence. Because Crying Child, on accident, because I don't think he's like 6 years old, I don't think he purposely manipulated this to happen. I think it just happened because of whatever, the field or whatever. Let's see what this guy says.
But there's still some questions that have never been answered from the older games. So in this video, we'll take a step back and ask a question from one of the
Oh, where's my ball? Where's my ball? Wait, hold on guys. I have to clip for him.
There's still some questions that have never been answered from the older games. So in this video, we'll take a step back and ask.
A step back. Well, let me run it back. That's not tough.
from the older games. So in this video, we'll take a step back and ask
A step back. That's just lame as fuck. I'm editing that out.
a question from one of the classic games. Why the and the Mimic have been popping up everywhere, but there's still some questions that have never been answered from the older games. So in this video, we'll take a step back and ask a question from one of the classic games. Why can Foxy see through a mask in FNAF 2?
God victim. God victim.
In this game, which takes place after FNAF 1, you play as a new employee named Jeremy Fitzgerald, and it's your job,
Also known as Michael F.
to watch over the animatronics during your classic 12 to 6 night shift. But you have a few enemies to deal with along the way. The animatronics, the puppets, and the withered animatronics. The toy animatronics were made after the company decided that the characters needed a new and updated look that was more kid-friendly. And the withered animatronics were made for the previous Freddy's location in 1985, but it closed down. While they were going to be repurposed for the current location, the withered animatronics were run down and scary looking, so they were kept in storage only for the use of spare parts.
By now I'm sure you've noticed the older models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location, and we just use them for parts now.
And because the withered animatronics were so run down, there was no point in using them for the new restaurant.
Why doesn't it show it?
By now I'm sure you've noticed the older models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location, and we just use them for parts now.
And because the withered animatronics were so run down, there was no point in using them for the new restaurant. So it was decided that the toy
Cap. How I zoom in? Who's that then, huh? Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Tell me. Tell me, who's this? Who's this right here? Who is this? Why does it say new? Why does it say my day at the new Freddy Fazbear's Pizza? Why does it say that? Why does it say that? Why does it say it on this one? Why does it say it on this one? Huh? Why does it say that?
animatronics would be the main stars. We also know that the toy animatronics had a special security system.
They've spent a small fortune on these new animatronics. Facial recognition, advanced mobility. They even let them walk around during the day. Isn't that neat? But most importantly, they're all tied into some kind of criminal database so they can detect a predator a mile away. Heck, we should be paying them to guard you.
But because the animatronics weren't given a proper night mode, they roam free at night, trying to find a room with people in it, according to Phone Guy. They're meant to be around children in spaces with loud noises, but when it gets quiet, they'll try to find an environment that matches more closely to what they're used to. This leads to them trying to find us in the security room. But of course, we know that these animatronics aren't here to have a party with us. One wrong move and the game is over by getting killed by one of them. Which is why in FNAF 2, we are granted a Freddy mask, something that can be worn when we come in contact with most animatronics so they won't recognize us as human. Due to their new facial recognition system, this would trick them into believing that we ourselves are an animatronic and shouldn't be attacked. However, this doesn't work when it comes to two characters, the puppet and Foxy. Instead, we must keep the music box wound up and have our flashlight handy. But why doesn't the mask work on them? In the case of the puppet or marionette, they would be able to recognize us mainly due to their superior senses. After all, they make this statement in Ultimate Custom Night.
The others are like animals, but I am very aware.
Now, whether or not you believe Ultimate Custom Night is canon is up to you, but there's no doubt that Marionette stands out from the others. She was originally supposed to be a security puppet meant to protect Charlotte Emily, Henry Emily's daughter, who was once a co-owner of Freddy.
What I want to believe here is that the reason... Why am I doing this? What I want to believe here is that the reason the puppet is more aware is probably because of some sort of agony shit, where because she was, I don't know, maybe because she has like more agony power or whatever, she has more fucking remnant power. She's like more fucking sentient than the other ones. Or it could just be because the technology in the puppet suit is like less advanced than the other shit, and she can do more because there's less limitations on her body and what she can do with it.
So her facial recognition skills would be top tier, so much so that a mere mask wouldn't be able to fool her. Also, after the first missing children's incident in 1985, the puppet was in charge of bringing life to the dead children, acting as an
Or it's the exact opposite, like what he just said, where it's so advanced that the puppet suit can see through the fucking
all-powerful animatronic. They're known for protecting the others, and it wouldn't make sense that they'd mistake a fake Freddy mask over the real thing. So if that's the case for the puppet, then why doesn't the mask work on Foxy? This whole
God victim
matter could easily be settled with an explanation relating to game mechanics. You can't use the mask as a defense mechanism.
It completely could be just game mechanics, but that's boring. Literally the only reason for this is because he didn't want to have another boring mask animatronic in the game. That's probably the most legitimate reason, but lore-wise, there's probably, we're gonna think, lore-wise, we're obviously gonna think that there's more to it.
For all of the animatronics, because it would get boring and just straight up tedious. However, there might be a deeper explanation than this. Similar to the puppet, Foxy also had an experience encountering dead children. During the second missing children incident of 1987, he saw the children before and after their murders. This can be seen in FNAF 2's Foxy Go 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 minigame of 1987. He saw the children before and he also had an experience encountering dead children. During the second missing children incident of 1987,
I like this guy. Hold on.
with the release.
This is why I don't go on my main account.
we
Why
ourselves
did you
are an
spend half of the
animatronic.
video explaining FNAF 2? You don't gotta do all
85,
this, man.
Puppets was in charge of bringing life to the dead. Get boring and just straight up tedious. However, there might be a deeper explanation than this. Similar to the puppets, Foxy also had an experience encountering dead children. During the second missing children incident of 1987, he saw the children before and after their murders. This can be seen in FNAF 2's Foxy Go 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 minigame, in which he exits from the curtains in Pirate Cove and walks into a room with children who are excited to see him. This is done 2 more times. However, on the third, Purple Guy, aka William Afton, can be seen in the bottom right corner. And when Foxy walks into the next room, he encounters the dead children who were murdered.
This is proof. Y'all are gonna call me an actual idiot because I've never seen this. I've never seen Foxy Go 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 before. I've heard of it. I've heard of the concept, but I haven't like actually seen it. I'm just that good at FNAF 2 that I don't get the mini games because I don't die. Instead, I just quit the game before I get jump scared because I'm a pussy. This is also evidence of what I was talking about earlier on how the withered animatronics are here at the new Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is quite strange if this is the first week that it's open.
By Afton. The soul inside of Foxy from the first missing children's incident is incredibly angry that this has happened a second time. And since William Afton was in a purple suit, we can assume he was dressed like a security guard. If Foxy happened to notice Jeremy wearing the
This is not true. This is not true because of this right here. Not only Foxy was performing here in this establishment. It wasn't only Foxy. So this whole concept that he's explaining right now would also apply to the other 3 withered animatronics, which would make no sense if Foxy's the only one that can go through it.
purple shirt, then he could have connected us with Afton, making him extremely violent towards us whether we were wearing the mask or not. Also, if Foxy happened to see Purple Guy dressing up as Spring Bonnie, then he would be able to tell if a human is in a suit or wearing a mask versus being a real animatronic.
Explain to me why the other 3 withered animatronics wouldn't have also seen this.
And this isn't too far-fetched, seeing as Foxy is actually a pretty smart character who says so himself.
Never underestimate the cunning of a pirate, or a fox for that matter.
Why is Foxy the only animatronic in UCN with custom voice lines? We don't talk about FNAF AR because that's not canon. Or, I mean, the emails are, but I don't know. FNAF AR is a topic that I don't want to talk about. But why is Foxy the only FNAF 1 animatronic with a voice line in this game? I have no idea. That's something I have to figure out.
There's also another reason why Foxy may be able to see through Jeremy's facade, mainly based on this piece of information given by Phone Guy. After referring to the withered animatronics being used for parts, he says this.
The idea at first was to repair them. They even started retrofitting them with some of the newer technology, but they were just so ugly.
The way that Phone Guy
This literally disproves his entire theory because he literally just said that they tried retrofitting him They tried retrofitting them. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna see. I want to see what happens.
Guy
after
says this line makes it seem like the repairs started but never finished. Is it possible? While it's a bit of a stretch, it might be important to note the order in which the main 4 FNAF characters are listed. It's always Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, then Foxy. He always comes last. It's also this way in the custom night menus for games 1, 2, and 4. This order probably refers to when the characters were created or established as a Fazbear entity, and maybe it could also refer to the order in which the characters got worked on, Foxy being the last one every time.
Wouldn't it be fucking Chica? What are we talking about? Fuck, I can't type. Because party world. This is not true. Chico was first. Why isn't Chico first in the custom night list? Huh?
Also, he's usually in a separate space compared to the other animatronics, while Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica share the main stage. Foxy has Pirate Cove as his own, so it makes sense if he was worked on last because he was separated from the others. Phone Guy also says this about Foxy specifically.
Oh yeah, Foxy. Hey, listen. That one was always a bit twitchy. I'm not sure if the Freddy head trick will work on Foxy.
For some reason, Foxy has always been difficult to work on. It's unclear what the specifics are, but we know that this is related to him being able to see through the mask mechanic. The company always knew.
God victim? Is it because the Foxy bro was the one that killed Crying Child? It was the one that put him in Fredbear's mouth. Is this God victim evidence?
Knew that Foxy was a problematic animatronic and probably didn't bother to equip him with the new security recognition because he would end up being replaced anyway. That, or it just didn't work on him to begin with. Finally, Phone Guy mentions another odd thing about Foxy that's different from the other animatronics.
Also, check on the curtain in Pirate Cove from time to time. The character in there seems unique in that he becomes more active if the cameras remain off for long periods of time. I guess he doesn't like being watched.
Now, this is a recording from FNAF 1.
Yeah.
However, we know that parts of the withered animatronics were transferred into the FNAF 1 animatronics, so we can conclude that the same soul inside of withered Foxy is the same as the one inside of FNAF 1 Foxy. Since Foxy doesn't like to be watched, we have to keep our cameras on him to avoid any direct confrontation. But what happens when we put the mask on?
Or that's just a game mechanic.
We stare directly at the animatronic until they disappear. This probably makes Foxy even more angry, knowing that we're just sitting there watching him, so this could be another reason as to why he attacks us with the mask.
No outro. Hold on, let me add to this.
Watching him, so this could be another reason as to why he attacks us with the mask.
Or everyone's on crack and this is just a game mechanic for gameplay purposes. Maybe everyone that's a FNAF theorist needs to go outside and touch grass. I don't know.